Okay, welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for your patience. Our previous event just lasted a little longer, so we're glad everyone is here, and welcome to the Board of Governors meeting today, Friday, January the 13th. Friday the 13th, watch out. Who knows what may happen today, right? Our first announcement is I want to acknowledge Governor Gibson and Tracy, of course, for their leadership and support of the Lions Forward campaign. What a fantastic event that we just got to witness. Thank you both for your contributions and continued support of the university. Okay, first on our agenda is to review the minutes from our November 11th, 2022 board meeting. And those minutes are before all the board members, and I would entertain a motion to approve those.
I would move, Madam Chairman.
Governor Elliott is the first motion to approve.
Second.
Second, Governor Haley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, before we begin our regular reports, we'd like to take a moment to present the City of Joplin with a resolution of appreciation today. Joining us today are some members from the Joplin City Council, including Joplin Mayor Doug Lawson, as well as City of Joplin staff that are also here joining us. And I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Van Galen for the introduction.
Thank you, Governor Plotnick. We're really delighted today to recognize and thank the City of Joplin for their tremendous support of the Health Science Innovation Center. As I think many of you know, on December 19th, the City Council voted unanimously to earmark $1.5 million in city ARPA funds for this project that I believe will have a transformational impact, not only on the university, but our city and our entire region. So we are very grateful. I would like to formally introduce members of the council and staff who are here today. If you could please stand and remain standing so we can recognize you and welcome you as a group. City of Joplin Mayor Doug Lawson, Mayor Pro Tem Keenan Cortez, Councilman Josh Dittar, Councilwoman Kate Spencer, Nick Edwards, City Manager, and Tony Robine, Assistant City Manager. Welcome and thank you. So I'd like to turn it back to Governor Plotnick, who I believe has a resolution to have the board consider.
Yes, I will be reading a portion of this. Thank goodness I'm not going to read all of it today, but this is the resolution that we'll be presenting here shortly, and I'm going to cover a few of the items on there. So this is a resolution of appreciation to the City Council and the staff leaders of the City of Joplin. Whereas by making this important matching allocation, the City Council of the City of Joplin, Missouri has demonstrated their vision for the important role of Missouri Southern State University and its faculty, staff, academic programs, facilities, and graduates play in the economic future of Joplin and Southwest Missouri. And whereas by allocating these funds in support of the Health Science Innovation Center, the City of Joplin demonstrates leadership to be emulated by other government, corporate, private foundation, and individuals in making charitable gifts to benefit this transformational project. Now be it therefore resolved that the Board of Governors of Missouri Southern State University commends the members of City Council and staff leaders of the City of Joplin for their leadership, for their contributions to the successful campaign and to match the state's appropriation, and therefore facilitate the construction of the Health Sciences Innovation Center, and commands them for their continued service to the university and economic development of the region. This is presented on the 13th day of January 2023 and attested by myself as chair of the Board of Governors and Dr. Van Galen as president of Missouri Southern State University. I do need a motion from the board for approval of this resolution.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
We have Governor Rosenberg. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Governor. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much.
So at this time, we'd like to invite forward the members of City Council and staff. We'll have the presentation and a photo opportunity. So, yes, up to you.
Good job on the startup.
Pass those around if I fail to get them out of this place setting.
Okay, we will continue, and we are on to reports for the board. And I'll turn it over to the president, Dr. Van Galen.
Thank you, Governor Plotnick. It's certainly a great day for Missouri Southern. And as you mentioned earlier this afternoon, we celebrated a very special moment in our university's history with announcing a $1 million leadership gift commitment from Bill and Tracy Gibson. We're tremendously important. I want to thank them again for their extraordinary generosity in helping us start what I think will be a very exciting and impactful new academic program, and also for serving as co-chairs of the campaign. So thank you for that. I want to provide an update on Missouri higher education. A bit of news there. In December, we hosted our legislative delegation on the Missouri Southern campus. We do this annually. It's an opportunity to hear their thoughts and also to provide them with information and updates on Missouri Southern, and an opportunity to advocate for their support of public higher education and the university. It went very well, and we're always appreciative of the strong support that we continue to see from our legislative delegation. Next Wednesday, Governor Parson will present his State of the State address, and we'll learn more about the governor's proposed fiscal year 2024 budget, including for higher education. So we're very optimistic and look forward to what he has to say about his plans in the state budget, which will then, of course, go through the legislature, and we'll know the outcome of that late into the summer, probably in June. I provided the board with a written report, just touching on a few highlights. I talked about holiday happenings, which was a tremendous event at the university just prior to the holidays. Great attendance, a lot of really exciting activities, a nice turnout from students and the community. I want to thank everyone on the campus who was part of making that happen. It's certainly part of a larger commitment to increasing the vibrancy and the energy on our campus. And I thought that was a very good start. The Health Science Innovation Center is also part of the written report. We're making very good progress on securing matching funds as part of that project. And of course, we just acknowledged the City of Joplin for their tremendous support, which I think is helpful not only financially, but symbolically. We just very much appreciate that message of partnership from the City of Joplin. Also in my report, I highlight on December 21st, we had our pre-holiday employee appreciation lunch and celebrated years of service and also the 2022 Superior Service Awards. Scott Timpson and Becca Diskin were recognized. It was a really nice event and always a reminder that it takes everyone's effort working together to make our university successful. And it was certainly enjoyable to honor our faculty and staff on that day. Looking ahead, we're excited to kick off the new semester. So the first day of classes is this coming Tuesday. It is always wonderful to welcome new students and welcome back our returning students on campus. Before that, on Monday evening, we host the 23rd annual Martin Luther King Junior Day of Celebration. So that event is in the North End Zone facility between 6 and 8 p.m. The keynote address Monday evening will be provided by our head football coach, Atiba Bradley. And also, we will award the Dr. Alcade Beacon of Hope Service Award. So it'll be a very special evening. Certainly, all are welcome from our campus and our community. So in closing, I want to thank the members of the Board of Governors for their tremendous support as we together seek to build a very bright future for Missouri Southern. You'll hear in the reports from other members of President's Cabinet and our faculty and staff representatives. We're building new academic programs. We're moving forward with an exciting fundraising campaign, Lines Forward. We're developing our next strategic plan. We're investing in facilities. We're striving to better support our faculty and staff. We have a number of enrollment initiatives, many good things happening, and I want to thank the board for their support, and I feel very good about the future of this great university. Thank you, Governor Plotnick.
Thank you for your report. Questions for Dr. Van Galen? Hearing none, thank you. Okay, next we'll move to our Executive Vice President, Dr. Hodson, for your report.
Thank you. I'd like to highlight two items from my written report, both of which are on page 5 of your packet. We touched on this at lunch at our end of the table, but Taylor Performing Arts Center is on schedule. We will actually host our first event in that renovated facility next Wednesday when our town hall meeting and opening faculty staff meeting occur in that space. You can see a photograph of the new seats and information on the seating capacity. We still, to our knowledge, the only delayed item is the main stage curtain for February of 2023. Otherwise, we are very, very close to completion, which is very exciting. And then I passed out copies of the Missouri Southern Foundation's annual endowment report, which was mailed to any donor who had established an endowment with the foundation. It gives information about our fiscal year 22 rate of return and compares that to some national averages, also gives information about the board. Just a nice piece that goes out to every donor that has established an endowment either this year or in the previous 50, 60 years of the foundation's history. They all get a report. So.
Thank you. Questions for Dr. Hodson? Governor Gibson.
So the TPAC's close to completion. Do you have any performances scheduled?
Yes, there is a group on campus that's working on an event that will launch the fully renovated facility sometime in the spring. I don't have any details on that, but we are seeking some sort of inaugural event to celebrate its completion.
Excellent. Thank you.
Great. Other questions for Dr. Hodson? Hearing none, thank you for your report. Next is the Provost and VP for Academic Affairs, Dr. Toms.
Governors, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you our new Chief Information Officer, Jimmy Collins. Jimmy is not a stranger to any of us. He started as a student worker and has worked at, he told me yesterday, just about every area that you can work in IT. And he is a 20-year employee of Missouri Southern. And we were very pleased to have him and be able to appoint him as the permanent CIO. He served as the interim for about a year or a little longer. He has a big task ahead of him with a lot of vacancies as in IT across the world, I'm sure, but certainly across this region. And he's doing a great job. And I just wanted you guys to get to see the face as much as you can, to see the face, all right, and put a name with the face. And I have confidence he's going to do a great job for Missouri Southern. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome.
I'd also like to let you guys know that I'm not going to give you an exact number because I don't have an exact number, but we have an increasingly growing and large number of students, high school students who are applying for our MKEEP program that Dean Hackett, I'm not going to ask you for the exact number either, but it's very exciting. I hope if we can get KCU to agree with us, we may have the first full class in the med school cohort this time, just based on the number of applicants. So that's very exciting. 68. All right, that's pretty good. And while there are some from our region, there are increasingly large numbers coming from other areas of the United States because this program is getting a lot of attention and gaining traction with students who have a passion for medicine and want to have that opportunity.
And Dr. Tom's refresh everyone on how many we will take into that program?
25 at the most.
Right.
That's a combination of a committee that's of our own faculty and the KCU faculty, and it has to be pretty much unanimous that the student is accepted into the program. They also finish their bachelor's degree in 3 years and have to maintain a 3.5 in a very, very rigorous academic program. So we don't want our doctors and dentists to not be intelligent, high-performing people. So we're really excited to have this many students to apply. And those are the qualified ones. Those are not the ones that didn't meet our criteria for application. It's very exciting. From your report, there are a couple of things. As I reported, several of our student organizations participated in activities around the holiday time. Our intensive English program in the International Club took over 40 students to experience Silver Dollar City on Friday, November 11th. I would like to have been able to follow them around and see their reaction to Silver Dollar City. I'm sure that was quite unique. The Social Work Alpha Honor Society assisted in the annual Chase the Chill. So that's an effort to collect hats, gloves, scarves, and coats in various academic, and then those are given to people in need. We're glad to report that the Law Enforcement Academy class had a 90% pass rate for the state post exam. 100% pass rate, and 90% of those individuals were employed upon graduation. There's a report in there about the inaugural class of the MSSU CAPS that has been very successful. I think 37 students completed the semester. There were 3 strands, as you know. There's one in health sciences, human services, and business/marketing/entrepreneurship. Had a really good industry partner list, about over 40 industry partners that let these students come in and shadow and experience what it'd be like to work in the area. Dr. Suzanne Hull and her staff have done a fabulous job. Most of those students are continuing on into this next semester. I believe all of them are. And then she is already recruiting for the next class for next fall. Some of our students from this class are juniors, and they have assured her that they will continue on in their senior year as well. Finally, we are looking forward to a great spring semester. We had our all faculty back to school meeting yesterday. It was very well attended, even with the snow. I had told the president, I don't think 50 people will show up, and it was very well attended. And there was a great atmosphere and collegiality in that room. And I just have to brag on our faculty and our deans and our department chairs. This is the most collegial, collaborative place I have ever worked. If you say, hey, why don't business and basket weaving, you figure out we don't have a basket weaving really. Why don't we figure out a program that would benefit both, and they just do it. They figure out the best way to do it with as few resources as possible. And so I really am just pleased to work with them. They're a great collaborative group that we have on campus.
Terrific. Thank you for your report. Questions for Dr. Toms? Go ahead, Governor Gibson.
So, Dr. Toms, the business strand part of the MSSU CAPS
Right.
program. So you've got, sort of a list of who's who in the local business
Right.
community taking part in that.
Yes.
What do the students do in that?
Well, it varies by where they are, but they spend 4 weeks, and I believe that's correct. So there's 3 rotations, and there's 4 weeks in each rotation. So it will vary from, like, they'll shadow a salesperson, they'll actually not in business, but in some of the, like, they'll go to court with a judge or a prosecuting attorney. They sit through a sales presentation. They actually help put together proposals. You know, it's wide and varied depending on where they are.
Okay.
So, but it has been, I think it's been life-changing for some of these students, because then they can actually see the kinds of careers that are available to them if they choose that career path. And it has solidified for quite a few students. On the other hand, there's some others that like, well, maybe I need to change strands. And that's good. That's good to know before you start college.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Other questions for Dr. Thoms? I want to thank you for all your work and your team's work on the data analytics program. It was very exciting to hear the details surrounding that. I know you've put a lot of elbow grease and hard work into pulling that off.
Had a lot
So
of good help.
hats off to you and your team and everyone at the university that helped accomplish that. Great, thank you for your report. Next, we have Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer, Ms. Ice.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year, everyone. It is January. I'll start with my report talking about the SARA project, which is the Strategic Employee Recruitment and Retention Analysis, hence SARA. Much easier to say. You'll recall last fall we went out for a consultant. I announced at the November board meeting that we had selected a consultant. It was CBIZ. And since then, Human Resources, along with campus departments, were working on job descriptions. And I am pleased to say before we left on winter break that we got all of those to the consultant for them to start the review. There were about 270 job descriptions. A lot of work went on by a lot of people, and specifically Human Resources just gathering all of that and getting that together and getting that over there. We're now in a little bit of a pause phase with the consultant. They will take the next 2 or 3 months and they will be doing market analysis. They'll be looking at compensation and fringe benefits and the entire package that we have to offer and come back with a report, most likely a draft report of some sort in April. So I will have more to share later in the year on that. It is also that time of year that we are starting to look at a more formal development of the budget. Obviously, all year long, we are keeping tabs and the pulse of what that looks like. Obviously, we pay attention to enrollment. We pay attention to what's going on at the state with appropriations, any expenditures, any savings that we can garner, and if there's any increases. As we all know, everything's getting a little more expensive as we go along. So we'll have more to share about that as the year goes on. The next thing that I have to present are the financial statements for December 31st of 2022. And the cash graph is where we always start. And cash is showing a balance of 17.4. I will mention that last year's cash did have about $4 million of CARES and HERF money in there. This year it has $1 million. And so when you see that variance in there, just a reminder that we do still have some impact from the HERF funding that has come through. The next statement we look at is the statement of net assets, and we take a look at total assets that are $185 million. Total liabilities are $133 million, and that gives us a net position of $52 million. On the statement of net assets, I did want to mention back up under the assets section is the Mosier's prepayment that we did at the beginning of the year, again to garner a little bit more savings at the end of the year. And you can see as we move through that, we still have a balance with as a prepayment that we've done on our Mosier's. So I think we will look very good at the end of the year and have some nice savings from that. The next thing we take a look at is the comparative statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. And total operating revenues is showing a decrease over the prior year of about $145,000. Total operating expenses are showing a decrease of $4.6 million. Sorry, I got off my line there. Non-operating revenue is showing a decrease from the prior year of $6.6 million. And again, you can see on there that is a big impact from the HERF money that we received last year. We had significant dollars coming in, both for the institution and student awards. And this year, I am somewhat pleased to share. We have drawn the final $1 million in HERF funding. We have made it all the way through from 2020 to now. These are the final dollars that we will draw down in the HERF and CARES funding. And as I've mentioned before, grateful, thankful, the impact for our students. Significant grant awards went out to our students that were so important. But the institutional piece had a huge impact as well. When we look at income before other revenues, the current year does show a loss of $1.4 million. The prior year had a gain of about $800,000, and overall there is a decrease of $2.2 million. I will entertain any questions from the financial statements.
Questions for Ms. Ice? Hearing none, thank you for your report. It looks like we will need a motion for the financial, we'll need a motion to approve the financial reports, please.
So moved.
Governor Haley, is there a second?
Sorry.
Governor Elliott, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, those opposed, nay, and we have one more question from Governor Gibson.
I'm looking at the lease liability.
Yes,
and
sir?
There's a slight difference between, I'm sorry there's a slight difference, if I'm looking at it right, between the lease liability of $1.9 million and what I think are the offsetting assets. So I guess is the portion that's expensed, is the difference?
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you, sorry.
Right, fine. Any other questions? Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Next.
Get out my calculator.
We have the Dean of Admissions, Dr. Shelley Hewitt.
Good afternoon. So I want to start off by providing you a couple highlights from the strategies that we have previously shared with you for recruitment, enrollment, and retention. First, I want to share that we have a new partnership with a company called VU Scholarships. We're really excited about this partnership because this is going to give us an opportunity to proactively share scholarship awards before students even apply to college. And this is something that we feel is a way for us to, one, have students learn about Missouri Southern if they don't know anything about us, and then share up front with them, you know, what type of scholarships we can offer them before they even apply to entice them to apply. This scholarship focus with areas specifically in Kansas City, St. Louis, the states of Kansas, Iowa, Oklahoma, and Illinois. And recently, with my conversations with them, their next goal is to dip into Arkansas, which we're definitely happy to hear. Some other things that I want to highlight is the new scholarship models that we've rolled out for transfer students and international students. You're going to be seeing a lot of marketing around those new scholarships coming out soon. And then finally, highlighting the community college partnerships that we've established this past fall and continue to establish. So to date, we have 2 new partnerships, one with Tulsa Community College System and Coffeyville Community College. We are continuing to pursue partnerships with NWAC, Crowder, just to name a few there. So, and we're very close to having those partnerships established. You also saw in my report, I provided you some data on our new student admits, top high schools and transfer institutions. So you will note that many of our freshmen admits are from high schools outside of the United States. We had a huge influx of freshman applications and we were able to admit them. So we're excited about that. And then it's no surprise that Crowder College still remains our #1 feeder school for transfer students. As far as new programs and how we plan to market them, so we're very excited that we continue to have new programs here at Missouri Southern. And so our new marketing initiatives include our new tagline, which you're going to be seeing on billboards going up very soon, is "Find your purpose, find your pride." And so Again, new billboards will be popping up very soon. We've rolled out our paid social media campaigns highlighting our new immersive learning opportunities, and very soon you will be seeing the new commercials to complement our new programs as well. We cannot forget about social media because that is where our students are looking to us for. So our strategy for utilizing social media is to increase our brand awareness as always and to supplement the in-person recruitment that's taking place. And we know with those initiatives encompassing a very successful recruitment. The data shows an increase in engagement compared to prior years, including visits to our university website. So our social media, although we're wanting brand awareness, we are pushing these individuals to go and visit our website to find out information about our academic programs, the admissions process, the scholarships that we offer. And November for us was exciting because we saw a huge uptick in visits to our website, and December was even better. And so as we roll out the new website this summer, we just look for that to continue to grow and to utilize social media to get people to come to the website. And then finally, our digital marketing initiatives. So I'd like to point out that our current paid marketing campaigns focus on showcasing our scholarships and our hands-on learning opportunities. These campaigns are broken down by two segments. We have local and regional, and both of them are performing very, very well, as you will see in the report. And I'm happy to entertain any questions that you might have.
Questions for Dr. Hewitt?
I do have one. Your new transfer scholarship opportunities, are they available this semester or will that be next academic year?
So the new scholarships are available fall of '23.
I have a question on the community college partnerships. Is OTC an opportunity out of Springfield?
We are working with OTC.
Great.
That's the other one we're working with to form. And these opportunities are for international students.
Great. Other questions? In regards to the digital marketing, I know they came in and did a national campaign last year. What was that with the college tour?
The college tour, yes.
Yeah, so what are we doing to market that, or how does that work?
So we are using the entire 30-minute segment as well as all of the other little snippets for everything that we possibly can. So putting it on the website, adding it to our email drip campaigns. Reed and his team over in URM have the ability to take all of the extra shots and outtakes and everything and plug it in any way that we want to use it. And so digital, social media, all of it.
Terrific. Other questions for Dr. Hewitt? Thank you for your report. Next, filling in today, we have a new guest, Mr. Ryan Snyder, who's going to give us the Director of Athletics report, as Rob Mallory was not able to attend today. So Ryan, welcome.
Thank you.
Look forward to your report.
I'd like to thank the board to allow me to present on behalf of the Director of Athletics, Rob Mallory. Some big shoes to fill here. So, first, I'd like to start talking about our student athletes' academic success. The overall team GPA for varsity athletics during the fall term was 3.13 and had 4 programs with a GPA of 3.5 or higher. 132 Southern student athletes earned a 3.5 or better during the fall term. Of those 132, 94 were on the dean's list, and 61 earned a perfect 4.0 GPA. The graduation rate for Missouri Southern student athletes was 52% compared to that of 34% of the overall student population per the NCAA report of academic success rate and the 4-year federal graduation rate for the 2012 to 2015 cohort. Continuing some more academic numbers, 64 MSSU student athletes were named to the MIAA Academic Honor Roll. 9 of those student athletes received Scholar Athlete Distinction, which is a 3.5 or higher. And then 3 earned the prestigious MIAA Academic Excellence Award, which is a 4.0 cumulative GPA and a minimum of 2 semesters. The Lions also had 22 student athletes earn MIAA Athletic Honors. That was highlighted by our head coach, Jamie Burnham, distance coach, named the MIAA Men's Cross Country Coach of the Year. It was the 4th time he's done that in his career. Missouri Southern, the men's program, also finished 9th at the NCAA National Championships in December. It's the 5th top 10 finish that they've had in program history, and they were the top finishing program in the MIAA. The Lions won both the MIAA and Central Region Championships prior to the national championship meet. 3 runners finished in the top 6, and 5 were in the top 17. Gideon Kimutah won his 3rd MIAA championship, and his teammate and the defending champion Ryan Riddle finished 2nd. They again swept the the individual and team championships at the Central Region. Gideon again won his 3rd regional title. This earned him the Central Region Athlete of the Year from United States Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association. And Jamie Burnham was named the Coach of the Year for the Central Region as well. Our men's golf team also had a very strong fall season. They had a tournament win, 2 runner-up finishes, and a 3rd place finish. What that then allows them to do in those 2 designated events for MIAA competition, we currently lead the MIAA due to that. They will have 2 more events in the spring, including the MIAA championships, but we are currently leading that in the MIAA. Ben Markman, he leads the individual standings, and senior Trajan McCrae sits 7th. He won 2 events during the fall. And last but certainly not least, and as of January 4th, our student athletes have 3,943 hours of community service, that's a 77 participation rate. The last updated rankings of the NCAA Teamworks Challenge, Southern ranked 5th in the Division II standings, and the last rankings were announced last year on February 2nd.
Great. Thank you for your report. Questions for Ryan? Hearing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Faculty Senate President, Dr. Jean Colthrop. Thank you. This is first meeting. Welcome, and you are replacing Dr. David Locher. So thank you. We'll look forward to your report.
So I'm in the math department, just to kind of give some context. Our FSEC has gone through some changes in the last semester, as you know, new face here in January. We're usually not new. Amber Carr from the library is now our secretary. I've been secretary for the last 3 years. So Amber and I kind of switched. Our president-elect is currently vacant, which hopefully isn't that big of a deal, because I will most likely be president through next May to get us back on track, hopefully. But with all this juggling, we realized that we needed to redo our bylaws and constitution. So that's what we are currently working on, just kind of updating them, making them more in line with how we actually run our faculty senate meetings. We will have to hopefully get this done in this semester, have an all faculty vote, and then it will need to go to you all to vote on that, like I said, hopefully this semester. What we have not really started on, but hope to soon with our first meeting, is working with administration to look at our promotion and tenure standards, specifically with advising. Some of our faculty have over 50 advisees, and some have single digits, and they're held to the same promotion and tenure standards. And so we just want to make things more fair. So if you've got any, I can answer questions now, but if you ever think of anything, you can email me if it pertains to the faculty. If it pertains to anything else, email these other people, but I can answer faculty questions.
Thank you for your report. Any questions for Dr. Colbert? Thank you and welcome. Next up, we have the Staff Senate President, Miss Alicia Hughes. She is also new, so welcome, Alicia, and you're replacing Miss Ashley Brownfield.
Ma'am, thank you. So with Staff Senate, and I know none of you are probably very familiar with me, but I'm kind of a doer, and this is my home. So I have kind of moved into Staff Senate like a bull in a china closet. Well, so with that, but I do want to update first the Angel Tree Project, just to kind of give a finality to that for this year. The university campus community contributed to 43 families with gifts. That impacted a total of 80 children. So very thankful for everyone's generosity with that project, and we are just very proud of that project each year. So back to the bull in the china closet, alliteration there. We're currently revamping Staff Senate's mission to make it more focused on the Senate's role being an active partner in campus governance, in staff support, and in communication, in their communication role. And then we didn't currently have a vision statement, so we are developing a vision statement it's going to be designed to align with the campus's new strategic plan. To one of the identified pieces of the strategic plan came out as creating a culture of caring. And so we want to align that with our theme of making Missouri Southern a best place to work, a first choice destination for employees. And then from our mission and vision, we also want to set goals. So my term is up in June of 24. So for the next 18 months, Senate is going to work on some goals, and in hopes of laying some groundwork and some foundation to keep the rest of the staff senates going and moving forward and thinking strategically and wanting to plan for the future and align with the university's mission visions. And we also redesigned our meeting structures to not be so committee report heavy. We wanted to do that to allow the senators time to collaborate. And then we have assigned each senator a building or two to visit each month to kind of get an idea and a feel of what's going on in those buildings and allow the people in those buildings that maybe don't come to a Senate meeting or don't know a senator to kind of get involved and be heard, be seen, be recognized there. The senators are then directed to bring back points of pride, positive tidbits of information and facts of what other departments on campus are doing so that we kind of all garner and hear what's going on to build more pride and support for our employees. So that is my report. If you have any questions, feel free.
Any questions for Ms. Hughes?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
It's not about the report because I haven't heard. How's your son doing?
He is fantastic. For those of you that don't know, my son was the little boy that was hit by the baseball at the baseball game downtown in 2018. He suffered a traumatic brain injury. We were in Kansas City at Children's Mercy for 40 days, and you would never know it. I saw you at the basketball game. We regularly attend the basketball games. I'd like for you to meet him if you don't mind at some point.
Be happy to.
But yes, that's one of the reasons why I'm so endeared to this university. It was my home and my family, and I'm an alum and all of that, but I don't want to get too gushy, but because I really can. But it's one of the things that really endeared me to the university. After that, I realized that I really truly have a family here, and I want to be here, and it's a cognizant decision every day that I'm going to be here and I'm going to impact this place in the best way that I can. And a lot of it is due to that accident and how rallied and supported we felt after that. So
Great.
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you very much.
Other questions for Ms. Hughes? Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Student Senate President, Mr. Marcel John.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'd like to start off by saying Happy New Year again, and I'm very grateful to be in this position again to see new faces and current from the past semester. Small thing I never really thought again I would still be in here. It's kind of crazy. So as I go on through my journey through Missouri Southern, a lot of my things I've been teaching myself is to kind of just do it. So one thing I'm trying to do and to push on to my board members, to hopefully push on to the students and other organizations to just do it, is as keeping that as general and vague as possible, is only just because a lot of us have just doubts of what we're going to do, what we're going to bring onto our campus, and if not having the funds. But everything is doable within our obviously budget, but in terms of success and how many students are going to be participating in our things, you just do it. In my opinion, that just makes campus involvement a lot better. People just do the things without having to think or having to second guess. If it just, in my opinion, just boosts everything. So for small things, we wanted to start off by saying Student Senate, we're doing things that are on to go, events wise. So previously for the fall semester, we did hosting hot chocolates for the finals week and doing donuts. That's the to-go thing. People don't think about it, so they just do it by grabbing it without even thinking about it because it's in transition within their classes and their final times. The other thing we're doing is we are working with Chloe McCain on making T-shirts for the upcoming start of the week for the back to school again. I'm very excited because it's a new color scheme I haven't seen for a while. It is it's like an off-white, tan, beige, and then like a green circular logo in the middle. I think it's really nice. It's really sick. So hopefully you all can also grab a shirt if you guys decide to stop by. Other things that I will be doing is I've been invited to the Leadership Symposium down in Jefferson City. And no surprise, I'm from Jefferson City, so it's going to be pretty great to be in my own home, but to also be down with my school to show everybody around Jefferson City. So I wanted to also use it as an event to where I can show my people from Jefferson City that this is my school and this is what we're doing as much as we can as like a way to branch off for, again, another thing I never thought I would be doing, but like I'm branching off to showing Jefferson that we are Missouri Southern State. And another thing that I will be doing for this week is for the MLK event, I will be the MC to talking, so hopefully I can see every one of your guys' faces. If not, it's okay. But yeah, if you guys would like to come out for the MLK event, that would be great. And that concludes my report.
Thank you for your report. Questions for Marcel? You might remind the board again what year you are in school and what your major is?
My major is marketing, and this is my senior year now.
Great. Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is our board committees, and we'll start off with Personnel and Compensation. Chair, Governor Elliott.
We died for lack of a quorum. We did not have a meeting.
Okay, no meeting and no report. Thank you.
No report.
Okay, next, Academic Affairs, I know did meet, so the chair is Governor Rosenberg.
We met this morning. Provost Toms gave us several updates, and we reviewed 3 new academic programs. They were Nursing RN to Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Spanish for the Professions, which is a certificate for undergrads, and Teacher Leadership Certificate, which is a graduate certificate. The committee approved these, and at this point I would offer a motion that the board approve these 3 new programs.
Okay, do I have a motion for approval on these programs?
I'll second it. I think he made the motion.
Yes, yes, you're right. Governor Rosenberg made the motion, and the second is Governor Gibson. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Governor Rosenberg. Next, we had our Budget Audit Committee, so Chair Governor Haley will give us his report.
Thank you. We did meet this morning. We had a couple items. We got an update on the Sarah project. We also reviewed some of our bond updates and scheduling. We also talked about our external audit engagement and extending that for a 1-year process. So we appreciate that discussion. We also got an update on the Lions Forward campaign. The budget chair would also recognize and honor the Gibsons for their gift to that. So we appreciate that. And then the Health Science Innovation Center RFQ to start considering architects for that project. So with that project for the RFQ, I do have a motion to bring forward from Budget and Audit, which is as the first step in the planning, design, construction phase, the board authorizes the university to issue a request for qualifications for architectural planning and design services for construction of the new Health Science Innovation Center on the campus of Missouri Southern State University.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Madam President, before the vote, I just want to note that I'll be abstaining.
Yes, Governor Richard will be abstaining from this vote. We have a second on the floor from Governor Elliott. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed and abstained?
Yes.
1. Thank you, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, old business. Is there any old business to come before the board? Hearing none. New business, other items, to come before the board under new business? Hearing none. Next, our future meeting dates. We have March 10th, 2023 will be our next meeting, and then following that is June 8th. And at this time, we will move to executive closed session pertaining to our MSSU 610.021, sections 1 and 3. So I will entertain a motion to move to executive closed session.
So moved.
Governor Haley, do I have a second?
Second.
Governor Rosenberg, all those, yep. And then we will also need a roll call for closed session.
I have to do this by side. Governor Elliott,
Yes.
Governor Rosenberg,
Yes.
Governor Haley,
Yes.
Governor Blucknick,
Yes.
Governor Gibson,
Yes.
Governor Richard.
Thank you. The meeting is adjourned and we will move into closed session.
This is nice.